Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 27 in my Automate Everything Minecraft series. In today's episode, I'm going to be adding a lot of functionality, or a lot of auto-crafting to my Applied Energistics system. And I will be doing that in this basement along this wall right here. Now, exactly what will I be doing, you may ask, and I'm going to add a bunch of machines. I'm going to add all of these machines right here, and I'm going to integrate them into my Applied Energistics Energistics system, rather. And so basically, if I need anything pulverized, furnaced, grown, infused with energy, etc., I will be able to use these machines once I set up the automations to do that. So that's going to be cool. Now, how exactly will I be doing that? First of all, let's go in this building right here. Let's take a trip down, and we need to hook everything up to the Applied Energistics system, and I'm going to do that right here. Now, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some dense conduit, and I'm going to lay it across like here, and now we need to actually disable that because we do not want that connected, and then just lay this across like so. And then we will drop it down, and okay, this is a little more complicated than I thought. Okay, so there's like bees or something attacking me. I'm not really sure what it is. I think there's some bees along the wall. Anyways, so now that we have the dense ME conduit right here, and this can carry up to 32 channels, just like the actual conduit, or not conduit, but cable from the mod Applied Energistics. It's just that we can put facades on this cable, which is why I'm going to be using it. Now let's what we will need to do next is add some ME interfaces, and these are actually the blocks that allow us to interact with blocks around them through the Applied Energistics system. So these blocks are really cool blocks, and kind of critical to what we're doing today. So now that we have those down, we need to actually get some energy to our machines. And how I'm going to be doing that is, let's actually first tidy this up. We have facades here for a reason, so let's use those. So that's cool. And in the future, we will be able to stick even more channels on this particular conduit right here, because we're only using half the channels. So let's grab some real stone, and then we can block this up. And now next we need to get power, and we can do that via this flux duct right here. I actually need some not facades, but covers. Need some stone covers for this part of the adventure. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to run this through the wall right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these covers to kind of make it look nice and pretty. I actually don't even need that cover down here. Whatever. I'm going to leave it. It's not a big deal. Cool. So now I actually need to do the interior of that basement real fast. Because we don't want this wall looking poor. So now how I'm going to do this is we are going to drop this down. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong thing. And I missed a block. I know I did. So I actually need to make a way so that I can get out of here, because we're kind of blocked in right now. So that should work out. And I actually want to have an energy cell, something like right here. And this will kind of tell us exactly how much energy we have for all of the machines right here, and so that I know that they are getting the power that they need. Okay, so there's flux duct right here. I think the way I'm going to run the flux duct along to give power to the machines, and I will only need to run to the flux duct, is up here. There will be a run up here, and then there will be a run on the opposing corner, which is down here. But before we install all that, we need to get power to this energy cell. So I think we are going to run it up something like this. So let's just run this around, and we can just drop it in. So we should start seeing energy coming out. And how we're going to extract energy is out the bottom. And then this will be one of our runs right here, and that should all have power. And then I think, okay, so let me plot this out real fast. I'll have 4 pulverizers, I'll have 3 redstone furnaces here, and then I will have the Phytogenic Isolator right here. And then actually let's put the energetic infuser right here. Now, I only have 1 of those because I will only have 1 on the front, and so we can run our connection through the back like this. Okay, stop attacking me. And then I'm not gonna finish my runs of the, actually, you know what, I probably should. I'm not exactly sure when else I will be able to. And I actually didn't completely plan on using this flux duct. I kind of planned on using this, but you know what, I have enough of this. We might as well use the best since we have it, so let's just go ahead, full steam ahead. Okay, so we got the bottom, so now we need the top. Cool. And now, so any machine I place down should get power. So now let's block this up real fast. Let's put some covers on here. And then we can kind of see how this is going to shape up or look once it's actually done, once I start placing down machines. And that's the next step here. So first off, let's actually do the under machines. So first I want the pulverizers. Next I want, actually let's get rid of some of this stuff. I won't need any more covers, I don't think, at least not for the immediate future. I won't need any dense conduit or facades. I shouldn't need any flux ducts, so let's get rid of that as well. Okay, cool. So next is the furnaces, and I will have 3 of these. And then I will have a sawmill. And then I will need to go around to the other side. And then I will have, oh, I miscounted, didn't I? Okay, right here is actually going to be the Phytogenic Isolator, and there's only going to be 1 of them. It's going to be right here. And then we have the Phytogenic Isolators. Now these are going to be a little bit more of a challenge as well because they need water. Not super sure how I'm going to do that right now, but we'll figure it out at some point. The induction smelters, I will actually have 2 of those, so here and here. And then the centrifugal separator will go here, or separators. There's actually going to be 4. For each time I say there's going to be like 2 induction smelters and 1 centrifugal separator, there's actually going to be 4 of them. So instead of 2, there's going to be 8. Instead of 1, there's going to be 4. Just to clear that up, because I wasn't super clear with that. 1 sag mill, and then 2 alloy furnaces. Now what I need to do is I actually need to configure all of these machines, and they will be configured so that the in and out is on the top, or the in and out will always be facing the ME interfaces here. So let's do that real fast. All of the machines can do that, even the Ender IO machines, which is really, really nifty. I really like this functionality, being able to change all the sides to be configured how you need, because that just means that you can kind of put them wherever you need and configure them however you need them to function. Like I said, the Phytogenic Isolators might be kind of an issue. Yeah, we're going to have to play with that maybe a little bit. I might not actually even set those up this episode because they're not super critical. They're not something I will use a lot. Okay, so push-pull on these guys is the same as what I've been doing before with these, except that these will not have auto pull enabled, and they should not. If you do enable the auto pull on these, that will kind of screw things up. Because as other centrifugal separators or other machines are throwing items into the ME interface, which should be imported into the Applied Energistics system, other machines will try to pull that out automatically. The ME interfaces are really nice, and then in that they will auto output the items that they need to auto output into the machines, so we do not need this enabled. Hopefully that won't be an issue with these alloy smelters. And I actually need to turn the alloy smelters to alloys only, because that's the only thing I'm going to be using them for. Now also we need to add the upgrades to the machines. We can do that real fast. In addition, we will need to add conversion kits to all of the thermal expansion machines. And then I would like to place some augments in them as well to speed them up, because since we can make these augments, we might as well use them and have all our machines operating at as fast as they can possibly operate, at least without exotic solutions. We might get into that later. There is a device from the mod thermal expansion that allows you to speed up the thermal expansion machines even more if you place said device next to them. It's kind of a it's not too complicated, but it's a setup that I really don't need, and most people won't need. I may use it in the future in some extreme circumstance, but we'll see. Anyways, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to duplicate this 4 times, because it's kind of the same process. For example, I have 4 pulverizers down here. I need to place 4 pulverizers right here, and then I will configure them the same way, as in the in and out needs to be in the back, because that's where the ME interface is. So I'm going to do this for all the rest of my machines, and then I'm going to be right back. And finally, I have all of the machines placed down around the ME interfaces. Now let's actually go ahead and set up the Phytogenic isolators. Hopefully this won't be too big of an issue. Like I said, I need to get water to these things. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to dig out an area here, because I need an area to get water, or to put water in. So I think what I'm going to do is I need 2 aqueous accumulators. I actually could do with 1. Actually, let's try to do it with 1, but I'm not gonna make any promises that that's actually going to work out. So let's actually grab some hardened fluid duct as well, and then we're gonna need at least 1 water bucket here. Okay, so these Phytogenic isolators, let's add another input to the tops here. We can place down an aqueous accumulator right here. It will have an output to the bottom, to the left, and to the right, I think is how we're going to do this. Because I'm going to try... Actually, no. The left will not work, but the top should. So how we're going to do this is, let's dig right here, straight down. So here's a Phytogenic isolator. It is probably facing this way. So I think along the left side, yes, input, perfect. And I see bees. Okay, so that's where the bees are. One way we can get rid of bees, and let's go ahead and do this because that hive is annoying. Let's make a scoop. And it is made with wool and a bunch of sticks. So let's automate that, might as well, since we're here. And as we see, if we go here, we have a lot more machines attached to the ME interfaces, and it shows up in the interface terminal, which is really nice for automating things. So that's cool. Now let's get rid of that stupid hive. Also, we can get those bees, and we may use those in the future. So goodbye, bees. So let's ignoble. That's unfortunate. Ignoble is not what you want to see. Anyways, So the last Phytogenic isolator will be right here, and we can add an input to the bottom. Now let's use our fluid duct rather, and hook these guys up. And I kind of thought that might happen. So one way I can just make this easier on myself is do this. Okay, so that's 2 of them hooked up. The plan is to run this up and above and then hook it in like that. And then we can hook up this last one like so. And because of my slight OCD, let's get rid of that because that connection would not be doing anything. Now we need to place some water down. So before we do that, we actually need to be a little bit careful here. And let's put some cobblestone there. Let's actually temporarily place some cobblestone there as well. Now let's place a water bucket here. And then here to begin with. Let's grab that and then there. Okay, so this thing should be getting water. It should be giving water to the machines around it, which is fantastic. Cool. Okay, so I actually need to get rid of that cobblestone. And the Phytogenic isolators should have the water that they need to operate. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make this look all nice. So let's go ahead and get some stone out and go ahead and block this up. So basically we'll only see one of each machine and we will only be able to access one of each machine. That shouldn't really be a problem. Because if we need to manually throw something in here, we will have machines to access. We just won't have all of them that we can access. Now in addition, let's grab some covers here and finish this off and make it look nice. And then we can start setting things or some of the automations up. So we have all these machines, but we don't have any of the automation set up. So let's go ahead and do a few of the things. I know the alloy smelter is going to be really nice to use, because there are lots of recipes for the alloy smelters that I would like to have automated. One of those being Enderium, so let's go ahead and do that first. To make Enderium ingots with the alloy smelter, first you need the Enderium, I can't even say this is sad, Enderium base and then sand. But to make the Enderium base, you need lead, platinum, and ender pearls. So let's go ahead and do that. To make, I don't think I have any base with me, so let's go ahead and we will have to make some base real fast. So the recipe was 3 lead ingots, my bad, 1 platinum ingot, and then 4 ender pearls, which I have quite a few at this point. Makes I think two of the base. I'm not gonna attempt to say it because I was failing. No, it makes 4 of the base. So this is the recipe. This is what we're gonna have to. So how we need to do this is we actually need to click this button right here and shift it to a custom pattern, and then we'll just click these in. And since we don't have any of the base handy, we need to make some of it. So let's go down here. Let's throw all this stuff into one of the alloy smelters here. Should cook up pretty fast because we have a nice capacitor here. And then we get some of the base, and that should auto eject into the system. Okay, so it's right here. Here it is. And we can click that in, and then we can take this base and let's actually make it into the proper recipe here. And we can actually do that because we do have some Enderium already. And so we click that. So how we need to do this is, or how I would like to do this is, one of the alloy smelter systems will make the base and then the rest will make the actual ingots. So let's go ahead and test this theory out. Hopefully we can make some of this stuff. So let's go to the craftable items and let's say we want 200 of these nice nifty ingots. So theoretically this stuff will start crafting and we'll start seeing this number go up. So right now we're at 682. I really expected to see some by now. Okay, so we just had 2. Actually, you know what? The base might take a little while to make, so maybe that's why it's just kind of slow. So if we roll down here, we might be able to see this in action. We might not, actually. It looks like the other alloy smelters are actually in taking all of the items. But if we were to actually try to make more of this, which we can go ahead and do, we might see this fire up, which we do. Cool. So just because there are 4 of each machine, essentially, when you plug in a recipe, it doesn't necessarily mean that will actually see it happening, because there are more machines behind the wall that we can't see. So it works out pretty well. Anyways, it seems to be working. I will have to check on it and make sure that everything made its way back by just doing this. That's not a problem. Let's go ahead and set up some of the other stuff, because, I mean, while we're here. So one thing that we may need a lot of in the future is pulverized coal. We do get a little bit of it from our automatic ore processing system, because as a byproduct from the processing of coal ore in a pulverizer, sometimes we do get pulverized coal. But I would like to automate this just because in the future we might need even more. So we just, to do that, put coal in a pulverizer and we get pulverized coal. I'm pretty sure that is the recipe anyways. Let's double check that before I finalize it. So yes. And we also might get some sulfur, which is a nifty little byproduct. So we should go down here, find a pulverizer, just throw in one of those. And then we can say, you know what, we need some more pulverized coal. Let's make 1,000 of it. Because we can. And then we should see this number start going up. And if we travel down here, we should start seeing these pulverizers going, or at least one of them at some point soon. There we go. It just takes it a little while because the actual crafting processors can't insert it immediately. It does take a little bit of time for it to insert, so that's why it didn't light up immediately. But the other pulverizers were going, so that's fantastic. To be honest, I think this is a good wrapping up point. I can go ahead and do a lot more recipes with this system, but I mean that it's just pretty much the same process. You just have to know what the inputs and the outputs are, and then you can make a crafting recipe. You can make a blank make a pattern, and then we just use this interface terminal here to place the pattern in the proper location, and then we should have, you know, our items be automated, which is fantastic. I will definitely do a lot of automating between episodes, but that's not really an issue. Like I said, we just went through that. It's the same process over and over again. So anyways, in today's episode, I set up this awesome system down here in this wall of this building that will help me automate things. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna have to fix this. I'm gonna literally reroute this, so I reroute the flex duct behind this so that I can put a torch here, because that's kind of my OCD kicking in. Anyways, that's not here or there, but I managed to put all this in, and it looks pretty good. It should function even better, and it will help my Applied Energistics system reach its full potential, because now I can automate a lot more stuff. So anyways, if you liked today's episode, give it a like. If you like automation in modded Minecraft, subscribe to my channel, because that's kind of what I do. Signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.